and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very interesting topic, and so I'm just gonna hop right into it. Listen, no matter what social media says, no matter what the current culture or the trends of social media try to wrangle you into accepting, no matter how big or massive groupthink seems to get, I want you to know that you would do yourself great service by honoring your dance journey. Okay, being truthful about your dance journey, not being afraid to have your own experiences, even if they differ from someone else's, not being afraid to share your story, even if it goes against the majority, even if it goes against trends, even if it goes against what people feel like you should say or what people feel like you should be, right? So there are so many different things I can say about that, but in order to help us stay focused, I wanted to talk about how important it is to honor your dance journey. There are so many different things that are going on. There are so many different narratives within professional dance. One of the major ones, in my opinion, is the topic of race. And specifically in classical ballet work, we all know what the story is, what the rhetoric is surrounding race, and how black women pretty much get the short end of the stick, which is true. So let me preface all this by saying I am someone who understands the often disadvantages that present themselves to black women in a pursuit of a classical ballet career. I'm also a person who has experienced racial craziness and awkwardness and all of the things. But at the same time, I am also a person who has the mindset that just because I'm a black dancer does not mean that I'm going to act like a victim. That does not mean I'm going to talk like I'm a victim. There's one thing, to say the truth, but there's another thing to just kind of perpetuate something, just to kind of get all flustered in your emotions and everything like that. And that's what I'm not going to do. I also teach dancers that, it is just so important to stay in that truth and not to play the race card just because you can limit yourself so much, okay? And I'm going to tell you something. Excellence and history making slots in the world, they do not discriminate. So it does not matter if you're black, white, green, purple, blue, African American, white. It does not matter what you are. Excellence does not discriminate. So I'm gonna say this because I do not appreciate people trying to tell my story. Okay, I'm not with it. So if you do not know, I was a dancer with Columbia City Mexican. You see what I'm saying? It don't matter. If you're excellent, period. And I'm going to tell you, there are going to be people who respect you, who want to work with you, who want to cast you, who will stand in your corner no matter what when you're excellent, no matter what when you care about the craft work process of dance. I was a dancer with Columbia City Ballet. I was a quarter ballet member, and God blessed me tremendously while I danced with that company. My first season, I had the distinct honor of having some pretty consecutive soloist roles. I also, as a first year quarter ballet dancer, did a duet with the principal dancer at the time. And then there were just so many different things that happened throughout that season and then my following season there. And I just want to say this. I have an article that I was interviewed for, and I talked about how a lot of the dancers, when I first got there, really treated me like I was dirt on the ground, okay? And because there is this thing about race in ballet specifically, I knew what it was, but again, I'm going to tell my truth. I am not going to act like a victim. I'm not going to dance like a victim, but I'm going to tell my truth. So in that interview, I just talked about how, a lot of the dancers, they sort of, treated me like I did not exist. I've had something very racially crazy said to me. I've had people just kind of, treat me or say things to me as if I was not good enough, or I should not have been there, or I need to listen to them because I'm a first year, everything like that. And I want you to know that I will always teach dancers, and I keep this for myself, to know that hierarchy matters, right? But there's a difference between honoring hierarchy and ordering a system versus letting people walk all over you and letting people just treat you any kind of way. I would never advocate for people to allow themselves to become a doormat for people. So I've had racist things said to me. I've had people just like ignore me, like I'm not there. I was constantly asked if I was on drugs after repeatedly saying that I was not taking any drugs. So different racial things, right? But as we're talking about honoring your dance journey, your dance experience, and being truth tellers in that, and not just going with the tide, I want to say this, and I hope so many people hear it and see it, and I hope so many people share it. This has happened in real life, so I'm going to say it live now. I do not want, neither do I appreciate, anybody placing their experiences with Columbia City Ballet on me. I do not like, and I do not appreciate anyone, just kind of being like, oh, because she's Black, I'm just going to group her in with me or my discrepancies. I told you already, I'm no stranger to any of the racial bias, injustices, and things of that nature. But I'm going to tell you why it's important for me to tell my truth in this. And that is because the artistic director, William Starrett, was so good to me. Very good to me. Very, very, very good to me. Okay? Always kind to me. Always looked out for me. Always, was just there for me, So I'm not going to be the person to add fuel to the fire and just kind of put everybody in the same box. While there were dancers my first season that treated me like I was like a piece of paper crumpled on the side of the street, that does not matter to me. That was an experience. I learned from it. I helped dancers learn, heal, and grow from it just by telling stories, It's made me stronger in a way, But I do understand also that when you hear company names, the first thing people are going to think about is the director, right? So I am saying, okay, I don't want anyone telling my story. I don't want anyone speaking for me, please, or putting me in a little pile with everyone else, okay? William Starrett was great to me. To this day, kind to me. To this day, I can text William, talk to William. It you know what I'm saying? So let this be a lesson to all of you as you endeavor to embark upon your professional dance career. Don't get lost in the hype. Don't get lost in the hype, okay? Do not. And I understand everyone has different experiences, but you can really cap yourself off. You can really cause yourself to lose out on opportunities, You can really cause yourself to blend in into this sort of like glob when you never know. Maybe you were meant to stand out. You never know. Maybe you were meant to be the next protege, much like Judith Jamison was to Alvin Ailey. So you don't have to deny the truth. You don't have to deny your experiences. You don't have to fluff them up. But the truth is the truth. Don't go with trends. Don't go with groupthink. Don't go with what seems popular. Tell the truth and let it be that. My experience with William Starr at Columbia City Ballet was amazing. I'm grateful for it. And that's all I have to say about that. I'll see you guys next video.